Hi guys. Yep. Had to take some time for myself. Let me tell you what I did. I went upstairs and I started dinner. I got HelloFresh. So I was doing like I think today's meal was the chicken parmesan with the roasted carrots and is it scallion? Scallion and garlic couscous? So that's what I went upstairs to prep, and I put everything in the oven the way it's supposed to be. And I am calm. I think I almost cut my finger. But I am calmer now. Okay. So now I can actually discuss what happened in the episode. Because boy, that was an episode. I'm very happy that it wasn't the last episode. Whew, child. Not even because like technical malfunctions, but because I wouldn't be able to do something like that twice in a row. It's very rare you catch me breaking down because I'm just tired. And that's what it is. It's just being tired. Sometimes you gotta take the moment to yourself and you gotta cry it out. I always suggest people cry it out. It makes you feel better. It lightens your load a little bit. But just to talk about, let's see, where are we going to start the episode? Christina actually did come through for D. Let's talk about that. Surprise, surprise. But she did it with a caveat for Tick. And they said that Tick was going to die. But is his death going to be permanent? That's what especially in this timeline. Is his death going to be permanent? I don't believe it's going to be permanent. Yeah, I don't believe his death is going to be permanent. So, Crystallium was able to help with D. She was able to roll it back so that the effects of the curse, it was just like the curse had been cast, and the effects of it were just beginning. So that gave them enough time to make a plan to go to Tulsa. I guess, first of all, I don't know what their plan was beforehand. That's the real question. What was their plan beforehand? Before Hippolyta strolled through the door like ain't nothing was going on. I'm like, ma'am, how long have you been gone? No, did they ever say how long Hippolyta was gone? Like the exact time frame for them? Was it like a week? A week and a half maybe? But she strolls through the door like the queen she is and was like, what the hell is happening? What do you mean? What's going on? What are you doing? So they had the blood they needed to cast the spell, because otherwise they were going to, they were talking about using Montrose? How? Because I feel like Montrose and Tick would have had this, if they were, if it's still going by Montrose as being Tick's father, they would have had the same chance using either blood because they're not a direct relation to it. So I'm like, I don't understand how they pick Montrose. I'd like, it's Montrose, your turn, tag, you're it. That's kind of weird. But luckily Hippolyta strolled through the door, so then they had her mama, which was the extra blood that they needed, the extra oomph of relation they needed. And so she was able to roll back the spell, but the only solution that Hippolyta came up with was to go back to Tulsa and grab that book. That was the only choice they had, is to go back to Tulsa, grab the book before the house went down, before the house burned down. And once again, it's a Montrose thing. Montrose is garbage because of how he was raised, and the fear and unaccepting in himself about himself is why he's garbage. And he uses that to do dumb shit to other people. Granted, Montrose is hot garbage. But for a group of people who understand what it's like going through some shit, they didn't give a damn about what Montrose could be going through, having to relive the destruction of his entire town. Like, boy, y'all some heartless ass people. Like, ooh, Jesus, be offense. Like, y'all didn't give a shit. Have him go through that twice. Like, y'all didn't give a fuck. It's kind of weird. But because Hippolyta is the genius and the queenness that she is, she was able to repair the time machine and jack herself into it as the motherboard with the little things that the lady put in her arm in the first place. It's pretty cool. That was pretty cool, because they were like, well, what is a motherboard? What are you talking about? She was like, things that I know that I'm just finna do, so y'all just go ahead and jump through the portal. Her hair is purple now. I'm wondering how to, you know, what kind of wiggery they're gonna have to do to cover that up because her hair is purple. Like, it's 1955. You can't be walking around with purple hair. You can't be black walking around with purple hair. That's a target. Not only for the other black people be like, girl, what the hell's wrong with you? But the white people be like, nigga, what the hell wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? So either side. You're going to get it either side. But once through that portal, you could just see how shook Montrose was and how nobody gave a damn. Not Nan person gave a damn about Montrose. Yeah, nobody cared. Not even a little bit. But you did get to see the relationship, like the dynamics of a relationship between George and Montrose's father. We didn't get to see a mother, because I guess their mother had passed earlier, because we didn't see her. Even in the picture with the three of them, it was just the three of them. But seeing how everything was like lining up into place, how they pretty much shut down the city, how they canceled all the events, and how all those white folks got ready to burn this town to the ground, and how just to see how people just living their lives like it's another day in the neighborhood, and those three knowing what's gonna happen. It's a whole lot. It's a lot of because the plan was to get into the house and get the book. The only person who go into the house is Letty, because there's no kin, there's no familiarity. Montrose definitely couldn't have gone because he'd have lost his shit. Tick couldn't go because it's just, you know, kin when you see kin. You know what I'm saying? You know family when you see family. And just having them split up simply because Montrose thought that he could save his first romantic partner. Like, not romantic, but romantic partner. It was a whole lot. It was just a lot of, you had to let it play out. And that's what's frustrating. Like, I wouldn't be able to go back in time and just let shit play out. I wouldn't be able to do it. I would not be able to do it. I am a meddler. I am a petty ass meddler. I'm a destruction. I am a destructor, a destroyer of things. So I would not be able to do that. Well, if it came to family, I would have to, because otherwise, you know, I wouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? I had to stop stuff from happening like that. But other than that, nah, bro, we busting heads. But knowing now that the person that Montrose always talked about was Tick, it was kind of a full circle moment. I'm wondering, what is this going to do for their relationship? Is it going to try to put it on the path to recovery? Is Tick just not going to give a fuck? Because who knows? It's Tick. Tick is raised by Montrose, and they just have like their sensors and awareness, situational awareness, emotional awareness is broken. So they can't figure out shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's strange. Letty finally told Tick about the baby, but they didn't really say anything. You know, you're gonna name him George. How about that? He was like, well, that's the baby's name. I already know that. So I'm in agreement. But having, like, Letty's whole situation of having to go into that house, knowing that everyone in it had to die, was quite a lot. Not to mention the mother coming in and being like, what the hell's happening? Like, you trying to tell me that we could save people now if we just leave. But if they do that, then history changes dramatically to the point that it affects whether or not Tick is even born. And that's a problem. Like, she had to let them die. And having to hold her hand and pray while she, no. And no, and no, and no. I would not be able to do that. And no. And no. And no, and no, and no, and no, and no, and no, and no. That was just a whole lot of having to hold the hand of someone who you could have saved, but the consequences were dramatic. Like, the whole family could have been saved. That little girl downstairs died. thinking her sister was mad at her because they had an argument before they died. It's the reason why in my family, especially after we had like, it was a period of time where we had a death every few months. And we make it a point to try to talk to everybody every now and again. Like every few months we call up somebody, text somebody, send a message on Facebook, be like, how you doing, what's going on? Because it scarred us so much from people just dying. Like randomly dying. So, and it was a good chunk of time in my family. It was maybe like 5 or 6 years where there was somebody dying almost every season. It was bizarre. It was bizarre, and we didn't like it. So now we make it a point to talk to them. And the fact that her sister had to die thinking that Dora was mad at her seemed too much. The fact that they did everything they could, but they burned the house down, seemed too much. Like, emotionally, I was just not prepared or ready for that. Hence me crying the rest of the episode. Because it's just so stupid. Like, the whole thing is dumb. I always ask for what? Like, for fucking what? But at least they got the book. They got the book. There are words to open the book. But as it's been passed down the generation, they have just been told to protect the book, but never open it. So I'm wondering, when they do open it, will it be a note from Hannah inside? Like, will it be a message from her saying that, I know I instructed people not to open this, but if you're opening this, then it must be a reason for it. I feel like she would know the reason. That's what I feel like. And I'm dreading, but I'm excited for the last episode because I want to see the story wrapped up. And I have a feeling it's not going to be a good ending, but I still want to see the story wrapped up. And my feelings are probably going to be hurt again. Just a little bit. Feelings going to be hurt again. It is what it is. I'm going to continue drinking my libations while my food cooks, because that's important. But on that note, guys, thanks for hanging with me. Thanks for bearing with me through my little emotional breakdown, because everybody's got to have one some days. It's not bad. It's not mad. It's not bad. It's not sad. It is sad. It's not bad to break down emotionally. Sometimes you just got to do it. And hopefully I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye! Wow, this episode.